Is Peter Woods really a first-round talent, or are the Chicago Bears about to make a catastrophic mistake by reaching for a defensive tackle who disappeared for chunks of last season? ESPN's Matt Miller just shocked the football world with a full 7-round mock draft that has Chicago going heavy on defense, but some of these names are sparking a massive debate across the city. We are breaking down every single one of these 7 picks right now to see if Ryan Poles is building a monster or setting this franchise back years. Before we dive into the madness of this mock draft, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, share this with every Bears fan you know, and subscribe to the channel so you stay ahead of the game all the way through draft night. We have to start with the elephant in the room. Pick number 25 overall, Peter Woods out of Clemson. Look, I want to love this pick because the Bears haven't drafted a first-round defender since Roquan Smith back in 2018, and we all know the interior of that defensive line needs a game-changer. Matt Miller calls Woods a special, physical tool with a first-step burst that looks like a high-end 3-technique starter. But let's be real for a second, are we watching the same tape? Woods was supposed to be a superstar at Clemson, but he took a massive step back last year. Some people blame the coaching staff for trying to bulk him up and play him at nose tackle, but I'm worried about the red flags. He didn't test well in the pre-draft process, he skipped key drills, and he looked sluggish. If your draft stock is falling, why aren't you out there fighting to prove the scouts wrong? To me, taking Woods at 25 feels like a massive reach for a need, rather than taking the best player available. If we're forcing a defensive tackle here, I'm giving this a C grade. I have to ask you right now, would you pull the trigger on Peter Woods at 25, or is that way too much risk for a guy with short arms and questionable athleticism? Now, let's get to the part of the draft that actually has me excited. If pick 25 was a head-scratcher, pick 57 is an absolute home run. Matt Miller has the Bears grabbing A.J. Halsey, the safety out of LSU, and this is exactly the kind of value Ryan Poles dreams about. Halsey is a 215-pound heat-seeking missile with 10 career interceptions. People are calling him a better, more refined version of Jaquan Brisker because he can give you that same elite impact in the run game while actually holding his own in deep coverage. Putting a playmaker like Halsey next to Kobe Bryant gives the Bears a young, terrifying safety tandem for the next decade. This is the definition of an A-grade pick, finding starting caliber talent in the late second round. But the secondary overhaul doesn't stop there. Just 3 picks later at 60, Miller has us taking Malik Muhammad, the cornerback from Texas. This is where things get interesting because I've been saying for weeks that corner is a sneaky priority for this team. Malik Muhammad is a man coverage specialist with 4.42 speed who can live on an island. Dennis Allen wants corners who can get in your face and press, and Muhammad fits that mold perfectly. However, is 60 too early? He feels like a guy who might be available in the mid-third round. If the Bears could trade back and still get him, that would be legendary, but standing pat and taking him here is a bold move. It shows the front office is tired of being exploited in the passing game. Here is our question of the day. If you were in the war room, would you rather take a gamble on a high-upside defensive tackle in round 1, or would you prefer doubling down on elite secondary talent like we see here? Let me know in the comments below. I want to see your mock draft logic. Moving into the third round at pick 89, we finally see some love for the offensive side of the ball with Skylar Bell, the wide receiver out of UConn. This kid is a highlight reel waiting to happen. He's nearly 6 feet tall, runs a 4.40 flat, and he basically was the entire UConn offense last year, racking up 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. The best part: he's a yards after catch monster. In a room with Rome Odunze and Luther Burden III, Skylar Bell would be the perfect WR3 who can kill teams from the slot or the outside. Plus, with the new NFL kickoff rules, his explosiveness makes him a day-one weapon on special teams. Getting a 1,300-yard producer at pick 89 is highway robbery, and I think Bell could end up being the steal of this entire class. As we move into day 3, the focus shifts back to the trenches, but I'm a little worried about how long it took to address the edge. At pick 129 in the 4th round, we have Mason Reiger out of Wisconsin. Now, Reiger is an intriguing prospect, 6 feet 5 inches high motor, and he was the East-West Shrine Bowl defensive MVP after a 3-sack performance. But he's a bit of a tweener, at 251 pounds. Is he strong enough to hold the edge in the NFL, or is he just a situational pass rusher? We lost some key depth in free agency with guys like Dominique Robinson moving on, so we need Reiger to be more than just a practice squad body. I like the player, but waiting until the 4th round to find an edge rusher feels like a dangerous game for a team that struggled to get to the quarterback last year. The Bears don't have picks in the 5th or 6th rounds as of now, so we jump all the way to the 7th round for some deep sleeper picks. At 239, we have David Gusta, the defensive tackle from Kentucky. He doesn't have the flashy college stats, but his athletic profile is off the charts. He's a lighter, explosive interior guy who fits that Dennis Allen gap shooter mold perfectly. In the 7th round, you're looking for traits you can develop, and Gusta has plenty of them. If he can beat out someone like James Lynch for a roster spot, that's a win. And finally, with pick 241, we have one of the most fascinating players in the draft, Jack Kelly from BYU. This guy is a total hybrid, part linebacker, part edge rusher. He's 6 feet 3 inches, 240 pounds, and his production the last 2 years has been insane. 23.5 tackles for loss and 15 sacks. How does a guy with those numbers fall to the 7th round? Scouts call him a tweener, who doesn't have a natural position, but I say who cares? If you can get into the backfield that consistently in the Big 12, you deserve a look in the NFL. Put him on the practice squad, let him develop, and see if his nose for the football translates to the pros. When you look at this entire 7-round haul from Matt Miller, it's a massive gamble on defensive potential. You're banking on Peter Woods regaining his freshman form, A.J. Halsey becoming a star immediately, and Skylar Bell jumping from UConn to the NFL without missing a beat. I'm grading this mock draft a C+. It's solid, it addresses needs, but it lacks that slam dunk feeling in the 1st round that Bears fans are desperate for. We are just weeks away from the real thing, and the rumors are only going to get crazier from here. I'll have my own updated 7-round mock draft dropping on the channel very soon, where I'll show you how I would navigate these picks differently to make the Bears a Super Bowl contender. You do not want to miss that, so make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. We are chasing 2,000 subscribers before draft night, and we need you on the team to get there. Thanks for riding with us, stay tuned for the next one, and as always, bear down.